Hi, I'm Tom. I'm the author of Critical Thinking, and I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes telling you about the new edition. Now, above all, what I've tried to do working with Sage on this new edition is come up with something that is as useful and clear and contemporary as possible. And this means paying particular attention to the digital context. So the digital edition is a completely updated and revised interactive ebook rather than a PDF. And the book itself, I've spent a lot of time kind of clarifying the structure and trying to put a particular emphasis on technology and on the context within which students find themselves working now. I did a lot of teaching and speaking during the pandemic, and I was incredibly conscious that for a lot of people, there's both profound uncertainty and a great deal of anxiety around technology, resources, and finding ways to work in the contemporary context. I've always been very interested in critical thinking as a holistic skill. And by that I mean the way it's founded in finding the right routines, establishing the right habits, establishing the right kinds of time and attention and finding focus, and generally becoming a sort of confident learner for whom critical engagement is available as a skill rather than just a sort of worrying and distant requirement. So in the new edition, we've put a really big emphasis on trying to make this toolkit for critical thinking as foundational and supportive as possible in terms of the habits, the times, the places, the routines that support critical engagement in the 21st century context and that help people deal with information overload, challenges such as fake news and disinformation and conflicting sources, and that sort of cut through these to some fundamental techniques about how we turn information into knowledge and understanding. The digital context is always on my mind. I work with tech companies. I spend quite a lot of time writing other mainstream books about technology. And I feel that the toolkit of critical thinking is really at its best when you're encouraging people to look into the stories behind knowledge and data, how it's made, where claims come from, and what it means to compare them with confidence. And I hope by talking to people at fact-checking charities, by looking into the latest research around online trends and habits and anxieties, I've managed to put together some really practical foundational recommendations that put all the incredibly important skills of logic and reasoning and evidence and comparison on a 21st century platform, one that's about what happens when you sit down, at the screen, when you try to work out what deserves your attention, how to use search well, how to construct a reading list, how to balance your time and attention between competing demands. I guess above all, I want to be useful to students. And to more than students, I want to be useful to citizens, to people facing a very uncertain and challenging future in which it's not quite clear what skills you'll need, in which who to trust and what to do are very big and open questions. So I've tried to take the foundations of the first edition and turn it into something even more user-friendly and lucid and fit for purpose in the 21st century, where you need to be a confident user of information systems, to be able to think for yourself about the stories behind the claims in front of you, and to just find and build the habits and times and spaces conducive to studying in a way that works for you, that give you a toolkit for critical engagement in the world as we find it. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks very much for your time.